All right, it is earbud season right now. We have so many coming out, from the Galaxy Buds Plus to the Sennheisers to the Bang & Olufsen E8s. We have the Jabras right here, lots of earbuds coming out. And these, the Jabra Elite Active 75T earbuds, besides just being a really long and annoying name to say, are actually a really impressive pair of earbuds. So you may notice that they look familiar. In this video, I'll dive in and tell you everything you need to know about these earbuds, as well as touch on some comparisons between these and the familiar previous model, the Jabra Elite 75Ts. So you'll notice it's a similar name, just without active, which is self-explanatory with what the objective difference is between these two. So obviously the actives here are meant for working out, or meant for running, doing a more active lifestyle. So we'll touch on that and see how true that actually is. But I want to start off with a physical tour of these earbuds. The case right here is something that I've been a big fan of with the previous model. I like the shape and the size of it. I like how you can stand it up on a table and open and see the earbuds there and charge on the back. I like this design a lot. You have the magnetic closure on the lid right there. It's a pretty nice magnet where it closes and it clicks shut, doesn't really ever come open, and it's not too hard to open with a single hand. So I think that they definitely did a good job designing this case. One difference so far is that they're both, this and the previous model are both polycarbonate cases, but the actives here are coated with kind of a soft rubbery feel right there. I believe it's a silicone paint or coating on them that should improve the water resistance, the water rating that we also see on the earbuds, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the video. Now, the case on the front, you'll see they do have that nice color on the logo right there. There are 3 different colors you can get. There's a navy blue one, there's a titanium black one, and then this right here is the copper black, which I think looks really nice. You can see the earbuds as well have that really nice copper color on the buttons on the outside, and then it just matches so well with the black. I think these look really good. These have a 7.5-hour battery in the earbuds themselves, and then 28 hours when you include the case, which is very impressive. And when you check out the charging times, they're slightly less impressive, but it really is not a big deal to me. So unfortunately, you will not be charging this wirelessly. It doesn't have Qi wireless charging, but you will be charging on the back with a USB Type-C port right there, right next to the little LED indicator light. And the charging times, after 15 minutes of charging, you should get 1 hour of listening, which is pretty good. It's definitely not the best fast charging out there, but it is nice to have that. Then we do also have, for the entire 0 to 100% charging, it should take somewhere on the order of 2.5 hours to charge these, which, like I said, is definitely not impressive. But considering that, it's a pretty large battery in these, it makes sense that it's going to take a little bit of time. These connect with Bluetooth 5.0 and have a master-slave bud connection, which means your phone connects to the right earbud and then the left earbud connects to the right earbud, which unfortunately means that you cannot listen to just the left earbud. It's one small drawback, but when you're working out with these, you're most likely going to be having 2 earbuds in at the same time. Looking at the earbuds themselves, you'll see that they have 2 microphones on each earbud, so one on the outside and one on the bottom. We'll test that out in just a minute. Then on the inside, we have our proximity sensor, which allows you to automatically play and pause when you put them in or take them out of your ears. We have the 2 nodes right there for charging in the case. And actually, these are held in magnetically in the case. So if you look at that, you can shake the case like really hard, actually. And they never come out. On the outside, you'll see these have a physical button on each earbud, and it's really nice. It's a nice large button, easy to tap, and it's a really gentle actuation that doesn't make a loud sound in your ear. I never have any accidental presses with it, and having physical buttons for especially active earbuds, I think is really nice compared to capacitive touch sensors that we typically see, because you can use these, let's just say you're running in the winter and you have gloves on. You can't be using a cap touch sensor with your gloves, and so you'd have to take your gloves out and change the volume or the song or something, whereas buttons, they work just fine no matter what you're wearing on your hands. And likewise, if your hands are wet, they also work better with these than they might with a touch sensor as well. So that's just something I really like about these earbuds. Now let's get into the microphone test now and see how well these actually sound. All right, so we're right next to a pretty loud road right now, and this is the microphone test. So we'll see if you can actually hear what I'm saying. If you can, comment down below and let me know what you think of the microphones on these earbuds. So looking at the differences here between the 75Ts, the regular ones, and the active ones, really there are 3 kind of small differences. The first one is the water resistance, which is probably the biggest difference. So IP55 was what they had on the not active ones, and these are IP57. So really the first digit there, the 5, is going to be your dust and your dirt resistance. They both are the same. And then the second digit, the 5 or the 7, so 55, 57, is going to be your water resistance. So the not active ones means you can shoot a water jet at any angle at them and they will not have any damage, which means you can sweat, you can be running in the rain, somebody could throw a bucket of water on you, you could be running and get hit with a fire hose, and you should be fine. So, if any of those happen to you frequently, no problem, you're good. Now, the 7 then means you can submerge them. So if you're running and you frequently fall into lakes or swim underwater accidentally, then the 75 actives will be the ones for you. I don't necessarily recommend swimming with these. Admittedly, I have not tried it, but I just don't think people want to be swimming laps with these earbuds in. I feel like it's very likely they'll fall out of your ear and sink to the bottom. But if you're in a pool, maybe try it. If anybody tried it, comment, let me know if that's a thing that you would do. The second difference is the colors. I'll show you on the screen right now what the colors are. And then the third difference is the price, being that the new ones are an extra $20. So that's kind of a very subtle difference there. But I will be dropping links in the description. Maybe if they're on sale, they might be the same price. They might both be cheaper. So check that out if you're interested. So a quick aside, $200, is that a good deal or is that really expensive? Now, I would argue that that is actually pretty cheap considering what you're getting with these earbuds. And actually, I will be comparing them to some more premium models like the Sennheisers and the, AirPods and many other more expensive models out there that are in the $250 to $350 range. So if you want to see that comparison, make sure you go down and click the subscribe button and the bell icon. I'll be releasing that video pretty soon. These go very far into your ear, and they also create a very nice seal on the inside, so that means you have better bass on these, which I'll talk about audio quality in a minute, but they also never fall out. So if I put these in my ear, again, you put it in and have to twist very slightly, and then if you can shake as much as you want, and they never fall out. So I found that these are actually among the best for passive noise blocking and for fit when you're working out, despite not having wingtips. I would really say that these are an excellent pair of earbuds when it comes to fitting in your ears. Now, getting into the audio quality, these have 6mm speakers on board, and there's really one obvious thing about these speakers, and that is that they have an insane level of bass. And it's almost hard to judge the rest of the audio because that is the main thing that these focus on, which if you're working out, for me, I think that is an excellent thing to have. A lot of my workout music is going to be more on the harder rock, rap type stuff. And having a lot of bass there is definitely very beneficial when you're trying to work out. Now, if you're listening to softer acoustic music, then it may be too much bass for you because, I'll show you the app in a second, but even when you turn it all the way down, you turn the EQ so the bass is minimized, it still is a lot of bass on there. Describing the audio quality here, I would say that the bass, of course, is absolutely seismic. It's really, really loud, and it could easily be too much, probably enough to even damage your ears if you turn it up too much. Of course, you have total control over that in the app, so you won't be damaging your ears unless you really want to. Then the mid-range is definitely present. It is not, you don't have the same clarity that you have on the Sennheisers, but it definitely sounds really good. And then the trebles are slightly less prominent as the mids and the bass, of course, being that these are bass-heavy earbuds. And I would not necessarily describe these as the warmest sounding earbuds or the most level balance. It's obviously very heavy on the bass side. And I know I said bass 10 times in the past couple sentences, but I really cannot emphasize enough how much bass these actually have. It is just insane. So let's get into the app now and take a look at what we're working with here. Now, when I connect, one thing I noticed is it says there is an update available, and I dug into it. The update is supposed to improve connectivity with these because at release, they had a problem where the HearThrough was kind of a little iffy, a little spotty on the right earbud. And then they also had some other issues that they apparently resolved with this update. Unfortunately, I can't do this update. If I say update now and I do that, it'll say update failed within 10 seconds right there. So I'm going to reach out to Jabra, see what happened there. I don't know if it's something with my phone, my app, what's going on. But looking at this app right here, on the top, you have 3 different presets. You have My Moment, you have Commute, and then you have Focus. And it's nice that you can you have some quick settings right there. So if you say My Moment, whatever, is going to be a certain EQ, you can have HearThrough on or off. You can go down and change pretty much anything you want here. And you can also see HearThrough also has, different levels. So you can turn it all the way down, like I said. You can turn it all the way up so that you have absolutely just superhuman hearing and pretty much anywhere in between. I find that the HearThrough sounds pretty good. There's a little bit of white noise with it, but otherwise it definitely serves its purpose. The equalizer, of course, you can go down to the music presets. There's 6 of them right there. Of course, you can go and add your own if you wanted, or you can adjust those right there. and I usually just leave those. Sometimes I'll save it and adjust my own right there. But Energize is probably the one that I go with the most. Definitely a little heavier on the bass, but if I'm working out, that's one that I like. Going down, the last thing is actually kind of interesting here. You don't see this on many earbud apps. So if you're sitting there and you want these in, but you don't necessarily want to be listening to music, you can go and play, ocean waves or the rain or something like that. If we go up to the top right, you'll see that we have our battery right there for the earbuds. If we go to headset, they tell you the earbuds and the case battery. You can go down to see if there's an update available, which there is. I can't get it. What's going on, Jabra? Then we can go to voice assistant. These are Amazon Alexa enabled. Going down, we have the headset settings, which you can go into the audio experience and, just do some basic things there. You can go down to call experience and change what it's like when you're on a phone call. So if you have your side tone, which is like being able to hear yourself, it's basically HearThrough while you're on a phone call. Then you can go down to change some other things and have an equalizer for your phone call. Now that's not the microphone. That's actually just how other people's voices sound to you. So you can change that and have more treble or more bass. Then we have Find My Jabra, which allows you to find the earbuds right there. And something interesting about these is they use GPS, but they don't actually have like the chirping sound we've seen on some other earbuds out there. So if you lose these, you'll know within like a GPS range of where you last connected to them. So your phone will kind of essentially drop a pin, and it's good for knowing if you left them like in your car or at work or something, but if you're in the same room as them, it really won't be of much use. These are also able to pair with up to 8 devices, but connect to 2 simultaneously, which is actually really nice to have that. You can connect to 2 phones or your phone and your laptop. When watching YouTube videos, I find that lag is not an issue with these. Neither is comfort. I can wear these for easily 4 or 5 hours at a time without having to take them out. Of course, after a while, your ears kind of get hot and you just want to air them out anyway. So that is the limit of my comfort. It's not because these start to hurt or anything like that, which I think is the success for Jabra's part. Okay, so that was a lot of information, but getting into the pros and the cons. The pros, I love the shape and size and overall just mechanical design of these earbuds. I think Jabra really did it right here. I think other earbuds should be looking at these for inspiration in future designs. They did a great job of including a very long battery life into a very small design. And like I said, I really like everything about the design, except that it doesn't have Qi wireless charging. It would be nice if they had that. Of course, that's a very tiny area on the bottom, and I believe that's the reason they don't have it. Other pros, I think the bass is absolutely incredible with these. It's really loud, really prominent, and if you're listening to rock or EDM or rap or really any music that wants a lot of bass, these are really the earbuds that you should be getting. Like, there is nothing that is going to have better bass in truly wireless earbuds from anything that I've tested so far. Another pro is the mechanical buttons on here. Ties back in with the mechanical design that I said is just an excellent design from Jabra's part. Now, getting into the cons then, there's a few subtle ones. One, like I said, is not having the wireless charging. Not a big deal though. They also don't have any button customization. They also have a pretty long charge time. If you charge it overnight, it's not a big deal. And then lastly, the lack of solo mode because they have the master-slave connection is another drawback there. But overall, guys, those are really small drawbacks. These are an excellent pair of earbuds. Between these and the originals though, like the not active 75Ts, I don't know if there's enough of a difference that if you have those, you should upgrade. I think that would kind of be foolish just to upgrade for the purpose of slightly better water resistance. I mean, I don't really think I'll ever be submerging these, but having extra colors, if you're on the fence when you're trying to buy these, I would say get the newer ones. I like the colors better, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.